Imagine this. You open your phone for just 5 minutes. You check Instagram. Someone you know just bought a new car. Another person is posting a screenshot of their investment account. Someone else says they turned $2,000 into $20,000. And then you see the sentence that changes everything. If you're not investing in this right now, you're already too late. Suddenly, your normal savings account feels embarrassing. You start thinking, maybe I'm missing something. What if this is the next big opportunity? What if everyone gets rich except me? So you invest? Not because you research the investment. Not because you understand the risks. Not even because you really wanted it. You invest because you're afraid of being left behind. And that feeling has a name. Fear of missing out. But here's the scary part. FOMO doesn't just make you buy things you don't need. It can make you buy investments you would have rejected yesterday. And sometimes, the more successful everyone around you appears, the worse your investment decisions become. So why does this happen? And more importantly, how do you stop FOMO from controlling your money? Let's break it down. Most people think bad investments happen because someone doesn't understand finance. But that's not always true. Sometimes, people know exactly what they should do, and still do the opposite. Imagine you have $10,000 saved. You've been working hard. You've avoided unnecessary spending. You finally have a financial cushion. Then your friend tells you about an investment. He says, I made 40% last month. You ask, what is it? I don't know all the details. But everyone is buying it. That sentence should probably make you nervous. Instead, it makes you curious. You search for it online. And suddenly, your feed is full of people talking about it. One person says they doubled their money. Another says, this is just getting started. Another posts a screenshot showing a huge profit. Then you see a headline. Investors are rushing into this opportunity. And now your brain starts doing something interesting. You're no longer asking, is this a good investment? You're asking, how quickly can I get in? That is the FOMO trap. The question changes. And when the question changes, your decision changes with it. Humans are extremely sensitive to being left behind. Think about a crowded restaurant. You walk past 10 empty restaurants. Then you see one restaurant packed with people. Which one looks better? Probably the crowded one. You don't know whether the food is actually better, but your brain makes a quick assumption. If everyone is here, there must be a reason. Investing can trigger exactly the same reaction. If thousands of people are buying something, it feels safer. But popularity and quality are not the same thing. A bad investment can become popular, and a great investment can be ignored for years. The market doesn't reward you simply for following the crowd. In fact, sometimes the crowd is exactly what creates the danger. Because when everyone becomes excited at the same time, prices can rise much faster than the underlying value. And that's where FOMO becomes expensive. Let's say an investment is worth $10. A few investors discover it. They buy. The price rises to $12. Other people notice. They think, wait, people are making money. They buy. The price rises to $15. More people see the price rising. Now they think, I need to get in before it's too late. They buy. The price reaches $20. Then $25. Then $30. At this point, the story becomes incredibly exciting. People aren't talking about what the investment is worth. They're talking about what it could become. $50 is coming. Maybe $100. Imagine if it goes 10x. And that's when FOMO reaches its strongest point. The people who were skeptical at $10 are suddenly buying at $30. Why? Because the rising price itself has become proof. But there's a problem. A rising price doesn't automatically mean a good investment. Sometimes it simply means more people are willing to pay a higher price. And that can continue for a while, until it doesn't. Here's one of the biggest mistakes FOMO investors make. They confuse missing an opportunity with losing money. Let's say an investment goes from $10 to $100. You didn't buy it. You might feel terrible. You think, I missed out on $90. But did you actually lose $90? No, you never owned it. You didn't lose $90. You simply didn't make $90. Those are completely different things. But your brain doesn't always treat them differently. And that's important. Because the feeling of missing a gain can be so painful that people take risks simply to avoid that feeling. Imagine watching someone make $50,000 from an investment. You could have bought it. You didn't. Now you're frustrated. So you decide, I'll find something else. And instead of carefully evaluating the next investment, you start chasing the next big thing. This is how one missed opportunity can lead to a series of bad decisions. Think of FOMO as a hidden tax. You don't see it on your brokerage statement. There's no line that says, FOMO fee, $3,200. Instead, it appears as a pattern. You buy after something has already gone up. You panic when it falls. You sell because you're scared. Then something else starts rising. You buy that. It falls. You sell again. And eventually, you realize something strange. You were constantly investing, but your results weren't improving. Why? Because you weren't following a strategy. You were following emotions. And emotions are expensive. Here's a simple example. Imagine an investment starts at $10. It rises to $15. Then $20. Then $30. At $30, everyone is talking about it. You finally buy. Then the excitement disappears. The price falls to $25. You tell yourself, it's temporary. It falls to $20. Now you're nervous. It falls to $15. Now you're angry. At $12, you finally sell. You bought at $30 and sold at $12. Then something almost cruel happens. A few months later, the investment starts rising again. And you think, I knew it! So you buy again. Now you're repeating the same cycle. Buy high. Panic. Sell low. Watch it recover. Repeat. This isn't necessarily because you're bad at investing. It's because you're responding to emotional signals instead of following a process. And today, FOMO has become even more powerful. Because you've never had access to so many people's financial highlight reels. Someone makes $10,000. They post it. Someone makes $100,000. They post it. Someone buys a house. They post it. Someone quits their job. They post it. But nobody posts. I bought something stupid 6 months ago and lost 60%. At least, not nearly as often. So your brain receives a distorted picture. You see the winners. You don't see everyone who tried the same thing and failed. This creates a dangerous illusion. Everyone is getting rich. And if everyone is getting rich, you start feeling like you're doing something wrong. So you take bigger risks. Not because the investment became better, but because your patience became uncomfortable. This is where FOMO connects with another powerful psychological force. Comparison. Imagine two people. Person A has $50,000 invested and is quietly earning reasonable returns over many years. Person B has $5,000 invested in a highly risky asset and happens to make $8,000 in 1 month. Who feels more successful? Probably person B. But now imagine 5 years later. Person A kept investing consistently. Person B kept chasing whatever was popular. The situation could look completely different. This is why wealth building is difficult. The things that feel exciting today aren't always the things that create wealth tomorrow. Real wealth is often boring. saving, investing consistently, controlling spending, avoiding unnecessary debt, being patient. None of these make an exciting social media post, but they can be incredibly powerful over decades. There's another thought that FOMO whispers into your mind. This is your last chance. That's almost never how investing works. There will always be another opportunity, another company, another technology, another market, another trend, another asset everyone suddenly loves. You don't need to catch every wave. You only need to avoid drowning. Think about surfing. A surfer doesn't need to catch every wave in the ocean. They can let hundreds of waves pass. They simply wait for the right one. Investing can be similar. You don't have to participate in every opportunity. You don't have to own every popular investment. And you definitely don't need to become rich this month. Your goal isn't to win every day. Your goal is to build wealth over a long period of time. So how do you protect yourself? Here's a simple rule. When you feel intense excitement about an investment, don't buy immediately. Wait. Give yourself 24 hours. During those 24 hours, ask yourself 5 questions. Number 1. Would I buy this if nobody else knew about it? If the answer is no, that's a warning sign. Number 2. Can I explain how this investment makes money in one simple sentence? If you can't explain it, you probably shouldn't rush into it. Number 3. What could make me lose money here? Don't just ask how much you could make. Ask how you could lose. Number 4. Am I buying because I believe in the investment or because the price is going up? That's a huge difference. And number 5. If this investment dropped 50% tomorrow, would I still be comfortable owning it? If the answer makes you uncomfortable, you may be taking more risk than you realize. But there's an even deeper lesson here. FOMO isn't really about money. It's about identity. You don't want to feel stupid. You don't want your friends to become wealthy while you're left behind. You don't want to discover that everyone else knew something you didn't. And most importantly, you don't want to regret your decision. That's why FOMO is so powerful. You're not just buying an investment. You're trying to buy relief from the fear of missing out. And that's dangerous. Because once an investment becomes emotional, logic becomes harder. You stop asking, is this smart? And start asking, what if I'm wrong? What if I miss it? What if everyone else gets rich? And those questions can push you into decisions you wouldn't normally make. A smart investor doesn't necessarily know which investment will explode next. Nobody can reliably know that. Instead, they build a system that protects them from their own emotions. They decide how much risk they're comfortable taking. They diversify instead of betting everything on one idea. They invest according to a plan. They focus on the long term. And most importantly, they become comfortable saying, I don't know. That might be one of the most powerful sentences in investing. I don't know if this will go up. I don't know if this is the next big thing. I don't know what the market will do tomorrow. And that's okay. You don't need certainty to build wealth. You need discipline. So the next time you see someone online making huge profits, don't immediately ask, how can I get in? Ask, why do I suddenly feel like I need to get in? That's a completely different question. Maybe the investment is genuinely good. Maybe it isn't. But you want your decision to come from research and a plan, not from someone else's screenshot. Remember, you don't have to catch every opportunity. You don't have to own what everyone else owns. You don't have to become rich overnight. And missing a profitable investment isn't the same as losing money. Sometimes, the best investment decision you can make is simply refusing to make a bad one. Imagine you're walking down the street. You see a crowd running towards something. Everyone is shouting, "Come on! Hurry!" Your first instinct might be to run with them. But before you do, stop. Look around. Ask where they're going. And ask why. Because in investing, the crowd can make you feel like you're late even when you're exactly on time. The market will always create another opportunity, another trend, another story, another once-in-a-lifetime investment. But your money doesn't need excitement. It needs a plan. Because the biggest financial advantage isn't knowing what everyone else is buying. It's having the discipline to say, I don't need to chase this. And sometimes, the investment you don't buy is the one that saves you the most money.